Looks like Darius had to go. Big thank you to Darius, by the way, who has been adminning a lot of our stuff for us recently. He's been really knocking it out of the park. So hiccups here and there, but he's been getting better and learning, and I'm glad to have him with us. But he's going to take off a bit early, so you guys are going to stop seeing the brackets get updated. But that'll be, of course, you guys are watching on stream, and that's all that matters anyways.
Right.
But, I want to play with my keyboard more, but I don't want to mess it up, and I just want to get through with the finals too at the same time.
ShoWTimE is probably watching the stream.
Yeah, he'll probably take a minute or two to get here. That's fine. In the meantime, again, I hope you guys are having a good time enjoying the cast. It's awesome to have so many people tuning in. We did, in fact, break 4,000 viewers, and that's awesome to see. So give yourselves a pat on the back. Still, StarCraft 2 refuses to die as long as there's viewers watching like you. But, yeah, so as far as other stuff that's going on, I said I'd link the vlog, but looks like someone else did, so thank you. I am Dark Minions and many others. I haven't actually gotten to watch it yet myself. It's like 17 minutes long, though, so that's pretty cool. That's pretty big.
Yeah. It's a very long VOD.
But I was going to mention, for those who have not been keeping up to date with us, we are casting almost every single day. So you'll have at least a tournament of some variety, of some caliber. Maybe it's a foreign one like the Corsair Cup, or a Korean one like the BTSL. But we have events going on pretty regularly. But it is worth noting this week we have more Ting groups coming out. So we already played 2 of the groups out. And now we're going to find the European and the Korean groups number 2, combined with the first North American group towards the end of the week. I know our schedule is a little bit borked and it's hard to follow what's going on. And you guys, my sincere apology for that. But take a pen, write it down, because our order of operations are Sunday. We got the Ting, or excuse me, we already did Sunday. Today's Monday. We have the Corsair Cup today. We have the Alima League later tonight. By the way, is that 3 a.m. now instead of 2 a.m.?
Correct.
Okay, I'm going to go change that on the dock because we forgot to do that. So, anyways, it's 3 a.m. Pacific, so 8 p.m. Korea time. It's going to be the Alima League. Then we got the European group for Ting on Wednesday, the Korean group for Ting on Thursday, then the North American group for Ting on Friday. So group of all Ting action. And then on the 18th, for Saturday, we get to host the in-house Korean tournament, where we have several folks coming over to our BaseTradeTV house in Korea to play against the foreigners living there in a map test tournament. It's going to have about $1,000 in prizing, and everybody who comes there is going to get at least $50. That'll be the last place prize, so should be some good times. We've also given Jake, No Regret's going to be running a stream that's not casting, but there to just kind of get video content and interview the players and what they think about the new maps that could possibly be coming out for next season. We've also given him a fairly generous food budget to buy everybody dinner, so get some chicken and some food and have some good times as everybody comes over. But Lenok, TY, Stats, and Solar, I think, are the 4 Koreans that are going to be coming over to the house.
TY.
So it's going to be nice having them hang out. You guys can watch their points of view, but I'm ready whenever they are as I just continue babbling on here. But then Sunday, we got the wildcard group and the North American group. It's a double day, but that might have a bit of a cool treat to it. We'll talk about that later. So that gives you the next week in a nutshell. Lots of stuff coming up, and I hope you guys will tune in for all of it. But hey...
Is that the treat? Is it a nutshell?
What?
Is that the treat? You said we're going to have a treat later, and then you said in a nutshell.
Zombie Grub, I'm glad you're so pretty, because you certainly don't got the smarts.
I got too many smarts. I have all the smarts.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the best of 5 finals for the Corsair Cup, powered by Twitch. This will award $60 to the winner and $20 to the loser of this best of 5, but more importantly, for ShoWTimE, possibly the points he needs to get invited to the monthly finals. Nerchio's already locked in, and he's going to be attending the monthly finals, providing he can attend the day that we're doing it. He has the points already accumulated from 1 win. But we'll see if he can maybe get 2 and just get some extra cash. In the bottom right, we got the Red Zerg player from Euronix Gaming. It's Nerchio.
In the top left is the blue Protoss. It is ShoWTimE.
Now, Nerchio claimed that this will be a boring finals, and I wonder in what regard he meant.
So he meant in that it would be one-sided. He talked about how Protoss is broken and Zerg universally in Europe have a 40% win record. So, I don't know if that's really true. I feel like not even just Nerchio, right? Like there's a couple of, I was gonna say Zergs, but players in general that can complain like that and still be okay, and they'll just say like, oh, it was surprising, or oh, he played badly, or oh, he didn't play the abusive style that we talk about as is the reason it's all a problem. So I don't know if I really believe that it'll be boring.
Well, so I like Nerchio, but in fairness, we have seen him tap out of more games versus Protoss than anyone else. Like I know you mentioned that Liberator game referencing earlier, but when carriers come into play, he tries his best, just kind of dies. There's been situations where he's just been like F it and leaves. I don't know. Like I can certainly see why he'd be feeling a little bit salty coming up against ShoWTimE, who is a phenomenal Protoss player, but also then there's the race of, well, he's a Protoss player.
Yeah. And the point is kind of like, it's not like it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. ShoWTimE could mess up. ShoWTimE could try and do a build that's antiquated. I didn't even try. It's old. Antiquated? Antiquated. That's a really weird word. Antique is not a hard word to say.
Antiquated? No, it's not. Unless you're
it's a
trying
weird
to like
word, man.
think of it as, unless you're trying to like antiquinated and tweak.
Why you just add an N in there?
I don't know. I'm just saying like the way you're. I can't see how you'd find antiquated a very difficult word to say. So.
Antiquated, but it's such a weird word. It's an antique. Antiquated.
Hey, Lumberjack. Thank you for giving us a reason to get on from this topic. 500 bits. Zombie Grub and Rifkin making StarCraft 2 great again. Hype, hype, hype!
Did you miss the new sub?
I apparently did. Shame on me.
Yeah, shame on you. Dear Lord. Thank you, Pizark.
Pizark, my man. Thank you for the sub.
Yeah.
So, I just want to point out, Nerchio did very quickly take that third, as we saw, as his second base. He does this rather frequently just because it's not worth any of the hassle dancing with that probe. And I think ShoWTimE would absolutely have abused that given the opportunity, but he did open up with a Stargate back at home. Pretty regular play out of him. The Oracle, though, maybe more than just an Oracle. We'll see if he continues to pump anything afterwards. I've really enjoyed seeing Phoenix find a way into the matchup again, but double Oracles looks like it's going to be the choice.
Okay. I have Nerchio doing the old standard, kind of Roach Horn on the way, which, I mean, just like makes him pretty safe, if there's anything else going on with this, and maybe he'll add on Banelings later, maybe he'll add on Hydras. That's kind of the choice, I feel, for most of the stable Zergs. A couple Zergs try and go Spire and all that. 5 drones went down to the left side. I guess an Adept got in there. A couple of kills from the Oracle as well. Total 7. Not very bad. Not bad at all, really. I think the Adept died. It did show at least that 2 Queens went over to the third base, so that second Oracle should maybe think twice about going over there.
Well, it's still going to come on in, and I mean, there's the potential for a couple kills through this, obviously, but you're not going to be able to stay in for much longer than that. Nerchio on the other side of the map does kind of realize there's no third base down. He's had scouting for a while of this. I really like the Void Ray follow-up to clean up Overlords too, but he could actually just take that across the map if he really wants. We'll see if he goes that direction with it. It does look like he is wanting to secure this third, though, more than anything else.
Yeah, just third base being taken. It looks some good opening damage. Nerchio's done a little bit from it, but it's going to be a Hydraless Den, so there's the choice right there. I guess a lot of other Zergs have also been playing with +1 melee really quickly, but that's not one of these games. And that'll probably get to 3 base versus 4 and just be about engagements. I guess the next question is it fast lurkers or just a lot of Hydras?
Don't read chat, please. I don't need you using this fuel against me. I have 2 words I cannot say, and some of you guys who are more dedicated to the channel know what they are. And it's not that I can't say them, I just can't say them easily, is the better way, I guess, to describe that.
Can't say cinnamon?
Thank you to Dante232 for the sub. Glad to have you on board. But double Robo is interesting. So actually, I want to comment on this because we do have a lot of folks in chat talking about Nerchio and Snoot and referencing the whole versus Protoss win rate. I guess it's interesting because we go to Korea as like a context here, and we'll see a lot of Protoss dying very quickly to Zerg, who get super aggressive, like fast ling timings, like Scarlet killing stats in 2 minutes and 47 seconds. Like things like that are really common over there, and I'm curious why that's not the case over here. Is it because there's more Zerg, so Protoss in Europe have had more practice against Zerg? Because there really isn't that much in Korea, all things considered. On the pro level, at least.
If everyone could explain all the reasons why the regions are different, maybe there wouldn't be any difference. We'd be able to fix it. But I don't think there's easy explanations. But that might be one of them. So, do you ever, like... Do you ever have, like, you know, brown sugar, and you're like, wait for the seasoning? It goes really well with brown sugar.
You mean white sugar?
Yes, because so many people mix it.
I love mixing white sugar with brown sugar. It's my most delicious thing. I sometimes even put that on a bun in form of glaze.
You put a spice on a spoon and then you try and eat it. You know what that was? I forgot which spice.
No, I don't know. Is this a YouTube thing, or what are you referring here? I've never heard of this.
I actually really like that you're so apprehensive.
Do you know
about it?
Actually, while we're talking about stupid YouTube challenges, you ever see the condom challenge? But not the one where it goes on your head?
No, I didn't know that was the challenge.
There was a really stupid fad for a while. And I'm
gross.
just going to say, I think it's the dumbest thing where girls were putting condoms in their nose.
Okay, once I learned, right, like, you know, when I was a little, like, I was like a teenager and I learned that there was stuff on the condoms. Hearing about that type of stuff always, like, really grossed me out.
Well, get prepared to get grossed out. Thank you for the donation, by the way. We'll get to that in a second because I got to finish this story. There was a trend where a lot of people, the guys and girls, they would put a condom in their nose and they would snort it in to pull it out through their mouth.
No! Why? It'd have to be a condom, too.
Probably because it's the only thing lubricated that you could do that with. I don't know. It was so gross. I don't know why it became a thing. But it was a stupid trend on YouTube for like a good couple of months. And I guess I would watch the videos and discuss, and I don't know why. It's one of those things you just can't stop looking, right? You're like, ugh.
God. Well, thank you for that. We have Colossus on the way, Lurkerden, Baneley Nest, Spire. They both recognize, I guess, that there's going to be a really big macro game and just getting everything.
By the way, thank you for the $23.23 Daunted232. I'm starting to see a trend in the numbers that you enjoy, and it's just antiquated. Antiqued.
I got antiqued yesterday. This is very aggressive and something that I did not think ShoWTimE was going to do, and I'm guessing Nerchio didn't think he was going to do. I mean, you see him taking a 4th base, he might have been able to see that there's Colossus on the way, all those things would have been like, oh, I guess he's going to wait for X or Y. And then he didn't. He just pushed forward against pure Hydra and blinked on top of it, and it worked. And I'm sure Nerchio is kind of like...
Yeah, there's like certainly a bit of a tilt there. So they've talked a lot about the Hydra health change, or rather they've talked about how nobody's talked about the Hydra health change, maybe an interesting factor. And I do wonder if the things that are getting Zerg players held up here is just the difference of having a little bit of extra health or not. I mean, for those who don't know, Blizzard has been pretty awesome about being more up to date with their thoughts and opinions on balance changes. And while I don't agree with a lot of them, I'm glad that they're bringing them up for discussion rather than just forcing them through. And one of the things has been like, on the test thing, they're testing these Hydras with extra health, and nobody's really saying good or bad about it, so they don't really know how to judge it.
Testing? Who's testing?
Like both players who are playing the test mods.
This is great. It's fine. A+.
I mean, I really... I appreciate what Blizzard's doing to hype up the game, but I do wish there'd be even a small budget. Like, give me $100 a week. I'll run a test tournament contest like the Corsair Cup. I will happily forego like caster pay if it means betterment of the game and stuff. But I can't. I don't care about it to personally fund it myself.
Right, I agree. I think it'd be a better use than some other stuff. I'm finding more Hydras off to the left side. Now, Nerchio did get Corruptors, which is feeling very like Wings of Liberty. Oh my god. Because those are initially to deal with the Colossus. He does not have a Hive yet, he does not have a Greater Spire, but they will, I guess, eventually turn into Broodlords. The thing about Corruptors is that they kind of have the same problem as Vikings, potentially, which is to say that they might eventually kill the Colossus, but if they don't kill him fast enough, the Colossus still deals a massive amount of damage to all these units with very low health. So it might look like a good composition, but then the engagement goes down, and it's just not. There's force field available. There's really not that many lurkers. Sometimes just straight up ahead in army supply.
Those force fields were so sick on the left side. Once again, on the left side, keeping the Banelings back. Corruptors come in, but there's nothing to protect them, so the Stalkers just gotta shoot everything down that they can. The Colossus walk away, and ShoWTimE looks unscathed through that engagement.
Yeah, this is... I'm kind of surprised he's playing so cautious. I think he has just too good of an army. But, gotta be very careful with how he does this. Okay, that was... I don't know what that was. The Disruptor didn't actually hit anything, and then the Blink Forward just...
ShoWTimE just needed to press buttons.
Okay.
He's like, I know A moving in Protoss gives us a bad name, so I gotta do stuff so it doesn't look so bad.
I feel like he keeps thinking there's more lurkers on the ground, or maybe I'm underestimating lurkers, but there's actually only been like 4 or 3 with each engagement. Now Nerchio's up to 7 if he has them all together, which is a little scarier.
A slab of bacon is on the way here. We'll start seeing whether that's going to be for Tempest, or maybe he wants to go straight up carriers. These carriers are quite good. But while he does this, he's also getting storms, and I like that too. It's a good way to blanket the Corruptors for some damage, but more importantly, wash off Banelings and Lings, and even those Hydras. But Disruptors are a little bit out of position for this, so he sends those into the backside. He's going to hit not much, actually.
Nah. They hit like 2 lurkers individually, so none of them even died.
This is a problem, actually. He's had no Archons through this, and most of the Stalkers have bled out to the Lurkers and the Hydras, so wasn't able to protect those Colossus at the end of the day. Really unfortunate, but...
Sure.
At the same time,
I don't think he needs them.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, Colossus, like, while they were good to have, they weren't necessary the same way, like, Tempest and Storms are going to be.
He does need Tempest right now, but, like, Nerchio has gotten 2 Hive and Greater Spire, so Broodlords are a problem, especially since his Blink Stalker count really kicks in.
Okay, so...
Zealots, but the Lurkers is still alive.
Oh, not for long. Takes those out with the Disruptor shots. Not too bad over there. So Revelation's going to come in. Be quite key for detection. Broodlord's now coming out. Nerchio's army actually looks pretty good, but again, ShoWTimE has been moving on to plan B behind this, and he's got Tempest out and rallied on the way. Good production, too, as more Stargates come down, and 4 bases worth of mining. Well, I guess 3, technically, as this one's mined out, but...
Speaking of bases, Nerchio took ShoWTimE's 5th.
Yeah, I don't know how long he'll get away with this for, but if he can mine from it, certainly does damage to ShoWTimE indirectly if this game goes long enough to need that base.
I really like it, actually. I think it's going to cause more problems for ShoWTimE than it is for Nerchio.
Storms and Disruptors. Wow. That was actually kind of cool to watch, but really bad for Nerchio.
Well, there was a lot of splash for sure, but at least Nerchio took out the Disruptors before going down. He saves the base and is going to be mining from it, and now he has a couple of siege units, the Broodlords and the Lurkers, on top of the... So, now ShoWTimE, this is usually where his 4th base leads to Nerchio's 5th, and he's just like constantly pressuring and pushing, but because Nerchio took this as a 5th, and he really wants that 5th, it kind of puts a very awkward spin on Belshir, because ShoWTimE's now thinking about taking Nerchio's 5th.
Oh, okay, well yeah, they've got a yin and yang effect going on for sure, but the... Neural Parasite choice out of Nerchio is really interesting.
Oh, the Lurker corpses go everywhere. Fungals just aren't even that effective against Protoss a lot of the time without Banelings.
Well, you can't fungal it, you can't energy. He's got no energy to feedback.
Energy. Yeah. Nerchio thought it was going to be a good engagement, realizes that it's definitely not, and just has to laugh at it, I guess. To be fair, he's been falling behind a lot in this game, but it wasn't like... There was no point at which he lost 20 workers to an adept attack. He just kind of lost out, didn't have a good army, lost out, and it was like, okay, well, what could have Nerchio done better?
The Protoss symbol spam was pretty hilarious. We're going to go to a commercial break, though, guys. I'm going to run to the bathroom, too. We'll be back in 2 minutes, hopefully not longer, and we'll see you guys for Game 2 when we return. All right, folks, we're back. I managed to sprint back just in time, and we're going to be hopping directly into the game. There would definitely appear to be some emotions coming into play. Nerchio, he expressed that he really didn't like playing as Protoss. We get it. But then I guess to the point where he doesn't even care about maps getting picked. He's just not enjoying playing against Protoss, I guess.
Yeah, so I chose this map, technically.
Oh, well, there you go. Map number 2 kicks off here for the Corsair Cup Finals. Again, powered by Twitch. Spawning in the bottom right, we got the blue Zerg player. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Nerchio.
In the top left is the red Protoss. He is ShoWTimE. Now,
I would like to just get that sellout moment out of the way. since we are in the finals, we won't have another moment to mention it. If you guys are fans of Corsair and you're looking to buy any gear, I know when we talked about this last time, people mentioned RAM and cooling and all that. We, due to stupid legal reasons, can't technically get affiliate links for the RAM or any other cool stuff on the Corsair site. But if you shop through the affiliate links we have down below and navigate your way through the website to the RAM, we will actually still get credit for those purchases. So, like, let's say you click on the headphone link and you go to the tab at the top and click RAM, boom. You can still help out BaseTradeTV, hook yourself up, and get that support to Corsair that we all really want to give them appreciation for. So again, those links below are no longer just random links to the website that we've had in the past, but anything clicked through those links helps us out a ton, guys. So if you are looking to buy stuff through Corsair, consider clicking those links to do so. We would appreciate it.
Yep. So there's a chance that Nerchio, in his despair against this race, just kind of phoned it in, went for a bunch of early pools. Just get the game over with. There's a desperation.
But so that's the thing. I actually think that would not be a bad move. Again, I'm thinking to Biol, I'm thinking to Scarlet, and I'm not trying to say that Nerchio is better or worse or comparing them to these players, but comparing their games to other Protoss games that we've seen and cast them play, it does feel like the more aggressive and dirty you're willing to be as a Zerg player early on, the better chances are you catch a Protoss player with their pants down.
Guess. Everyone's got to all in early and be cheesy, except for Terrans.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like it. I have no problem if that's where, like, the trends go. But it is something where we've just seen results one way or the other for this and that. And I think that if Nerchio really, truly hates this matchup, maybe his strength being in macro is actually his weakness.
Maybe. I mean, Biol had a couple of good games that we got to cast where he all in and it worked. But there's also a couple situations where the setup looks perfect. You've successfully tricked them into thinking they're playing a macro game. You have 30 lings that are hidden and they're morphing a lot of banelings. You even have an overlord set up that they've never scouted. And they're going for the greediest build. They delayed the mothership core. They have one oracle, nothing else. And you're like, this is perfect. And you just watch the game and the Protoss just barely survives anyway. Because you have to cut so much to the Zerg player to do it. So I think Nerchio would try that and just get even angrier. Like, this is bullshit!
I was led astray. By the way, Twitch chat talking about Nerchio getting super angry on Twitter, so I had to check. This is a passive-aggressive tweet. I thought this would be like some straight-up nerd rage, but definitely feeling the passion, I guess we'll call it.
Yes, the passion.
Or I guess the anti-passion.
Funnily enough, ShoWTimE's wall is a little weaker than other walls. But he does have 2 pylons, so I guess the trade-off is ideally one of them survives.
Well, so this is where it's interesting. We've actually seen a lot of Protoss doing that thing where the Cyber Core goes here, so there's one space on the cliff. And by doing that, it does force a Zerg player to go all the way around to get back to the base. Whereas this one's just kind of like, okay, I'll just dance in front and I don't have to do anything with the terrain.
Nerchio is not doing much aggressively. He didn't even make a lot of lings defensively because he didn't expect 2 adepts to just come out and do this. I don't really blame him. Usually if it's an oracle attack, it's the 2 oracles with 6 adepts, or 6 or 8 or whatever it is, not 2 and 1. So it's a little awkward. That sucks. 6S6 drones, there's no SCVs here, go down, and Nerchio has got to remake that. Not truly devastating, but something that ShoWTimE will be, I think, glad to give away 2 adepts for.
So I guess maybe we heard a little bit of feedback there. I was clicking on the clip highlights here, all link in the chat. I didn't realize it was the end of that last game that's getting linked. Imba. That's what I read, seeing the Protoss symbol. It just translated in my brain like hieroglyphics.
Exactly. Well, it looks like Nerchio is sending these queens out on purpose, so I gotta imagine there's gonna be quite a few roaches on the way as these overlords pop. So this is kind of a tricky all-in, as it is a bit later. Maybe ShoWTimE doesn't scout it or think it's on the way.
As I said, I don't know about roaches, but banelings and lings aplenty for sure.
Oh, he canceled his roach horn. Okay, yeah, makes sense.
That's why I looked back. I was like, I had to do a double take because I thought, like, wait a minute, what? But
okay, well, still.
Void Ring coming out, sentries, other mothership core, overcharge, force fields. Like, there's a lot of things here that, like, ShoWTimE has tools to defend against this. Nerchio is really relying on the element of surprise, and as you can see, it's not going to be that surprising as these extra gateways go down to layer the wall. He will get a cancel on one, perhaps not realizing that was going to be the case. ShoWTimE ends up losing a big part of his wall.
This isn't too scary yet, though. Might on top of the sentries. The oracles come back to help out, and the queens aren't quite in the front lines yet.
If there had been more banelings ready to go, I think this would have. But taking down the wall the way they didn't actually buy Nerchio the time he needed. And this force field denial is going to be super annoying. There's another one ready to go, so it's going to be a long time before Nerchio can actually get up here with these units. So he goes around the long way, and I think this is a great choice. You'll find that third base a little bit open. But keep in mind, guys, Nerchio's not looking for trades here. He's looking for kills.
Yeah, even if he got the third base, I don't know if that would necessarily be worth it, because I think it would be after a lot more reinforcements come in, and Nerchio obviously would still be at a very low drone count himself.
So he can't get up that ramp.
Oh, they finally get the sentries, but there's a lot of other units he has to deal with, and production is finally finalized for ShoWTimE, so he could warp in more sentries, he could warp in more zealots, whatever he wants.
Oh, the high health queen, or the high energy queen goes down, so no more transfuses through her. The void rate is kind of low, though, and I don't know if it'll survive. Ooh, nice snipe there.
That's a nice snipe.
But Nerchio's running low on steam, and it's a lot of lings coming in. I mean, he's got more army supply, don't get me wrong, but it's still proving to be very difficult to break this situation.
Touch it. Third base is still not really under threat of dying.
That immortal's like, no!
Oh my god, save me. Yeah, it's a little unfortunate there.
Just hiding in the corner with like a shotgun.
Ooh, the force field could save it. He doesn't even need a force field. He saved it.
Turns out Immortals pretty good units. David Kim, can we get a look into these Immortals, please? Thank you.
Oh, Nerchio almost had an opportunity to run the natural, but still doesn't see it being worth it with cannons up.
Yeah, even if he ran through that, where does he really go? Maybe to the main, and that's the only option.
This just this has failed officially, I think. I mean, ShoWTimE even was probing while this was happening, up to 59 probes now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because it looked like it was about to break him. This actually got kind of close, but maybe if you had picked a different map, Zombie Grub.
It's my fault. This is what it feels like.
I mean,
to be a
it was that
programmer.
ramp. It was the rocks. If this had been another map.
My God. Hey, this map is always really do the Baneling all in. So really, it's his fault for playing to the map.
I mean, I will say I like the attempt to all in. I actually think it's a lot better than what we saw in that first game, for sure. But as close as this got, you're right. This might have been the time passed. That being said, he still has an army supply lead. It's still maybe is in question. 5 queens in the front lines, plenty of transfuses with them. I can't help but think back though, as a completely unrelated note to this game. If we're talking about Zerg being perhaps underpowered in the matchup, why was Xanster able to kill so many Protoss going just slowlings, queens, and spore crawlers? That's all I can think about, like when it comes to complaining about balance for this.
It's really odd sometimes when we go from casting one region to another more often.
Yeah.
Because I really think we kind of fell behind, I guess, on the balance. Because I certainly didn't think that this was an imbalanced matchup. Yet a lot of the European Zergs are apparently all in favor of it.
And I mean, the truth, if Nerchio and Snoot are struggling with the matchup, I'm actually inclined to believe this is a problem. Because those are two fantastic players who are not typically, the guys that fall prey to balance or anything like that. But Protoss is... The salt is real. So PJ Salton, check, guys. This ShoWTimE takes a 2-0 lead. But it is the best of 5, and Nerchio's got one more game in him. We'll see if he picks a map this time or if he defaults it to Zombie Grub once more. Either way, perhaps the last ad break of the day coming at you. We'll see you guys soon. All right, folks, we're going to hop directly into game number 3. Once again, the frustrations, I guess, are a bit real as Nerchio just said hosts whatever, so we went with Honor Grounds, hoping that this would maybe be a better setup. But I now realize upon loading in that this could also be a carrier map, which might send Nerchio over the deep end. And if that happens, I accept full responsibility and greatly apologize because I was the one who picked it. But game number 3 here in the finals of the Corsair Cup. Top right side of the map, we got the red Zerg player. It's Euronix Nerchio.
The bottom right is the Teal Protoss. It's ShoWTimE.
Well, there's a lot of problems perhaps happening, but Nerchio will just continue to play a little bit normal for the opening. Takes the third base as his second and gives him creep spread and control and yada yada yada. But I do want to go back to the carrier comment before we get into it, because ShoWTimE has not only shown that he's willing to play Stargate builds, but this is a map where you can kind of easily turtle on 3 and even possibly 4 and get carriers.
Absolutely, it's a good map for carriers, and ShoWTimE really just wanted to I don't know, like, get the mental game going for their next best of. Maybe he does end this on a carrier note.
Just rub it in.
He's also probably feeling he doesn't have to.
So, I mean, Nerchio's not exactly reaching out for the early pools, and this might be his last chance in the series to have had done so, but regardless of that, I mean, this is where you start questioning things. Like, you take Penguin-esque tactics, where forcing base trades might be more preferable than the way it's been playing out so far. Maybe a Nidus Worm. There's a lot of, certainly, options we're not seeing here, but I guarantee you Nerchio's probably traded about 1,000 of them on ladder. He's probably lost 1,000 of different ways, so I'm not going to try and hypothesize what would be quote-unquote best. But again, I'm just blown away by this difference because Nerchio is a top-notch Zerg who I know can kill and defeat Koreans. And to watch him struggle against somebody like ShoWTimE, who is, again, a very good Protoss player, but seems to be struggling against the race more than the player, it blows me away. Because we're not seeing this dynamic reflected over in Korea. Not in the same way, at least.
Right. I mean, maybe some of that's because PvZ is still the less common matchup we see in Korea, but the dynamic of when we see PvZ in Korea is very different. ShoWTimE, I don't know, maybe he's kind of figuring out Nerchio is going to get cheesier and cheesier every game. Adds on a Mothership Core a lot earlier this time. He added his Mothership Core, like, God, I think he only had 50 energy at the time of the attack, like 1 foot to overcharge, so it was pretty late. But comes out fine here. In fact, even, I'd say a bit early in some other Protosses. I mean, originally when we saw the upswing of all-ins from Zerg, we were kind of all like agreeing that a lot of it could be because the Mothership Core is coming out later for Protosses, but maybe it was actually because they're so frustrated with the matchup. Nerchio's not actually doing anything. And ShoWTimE scouts that. Well, not yet, anyway. It's not doing anything to base, I should say.
I say it's not like he's not doing anything. Like, just like, he's so done with the matchup. Keyboard goes flying and can't touch anything in the game anymore. Although we never have had anyone rage quit in a tournament so far.
Rage quits? No, I guess not.
I would love, actually, that would be a great tournament first tournament where the finals gets forfeited because the player can't play as they've smashed your keyboard during game 2 or something.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's not happened. I mean, the only case I've ever heard of that happening. No, I think he had already lost the series. That's why he got so mad and he broke his headphones.
Who?
Idra.
Who?
That's a name. That's a name. Yeah, you know him. Don't lie. You're not that.
Oh, is that the guy with the awkward high five with Artosis?
Wow, that's even a farther callback, man.
Shoot.
Jeez.
Did I just give away that I know who he is? Damn it. Well, regardless of that, we do have a Dark Shrine coming out of ShoWTimE, and he's not going to be doing Stargate-related play, not yet, at least. Do want to point out that, again, that's like a big asterisk because he may try and pull it off later. Nerchio, not quite ready to deflect DTs, but it doesn't take too long to get Overseers once the layer's done. And if he's going to rely on that over Spore Crawlers, I guess that's okay, but the Ling saw the Warp Prism. He knows that there's something coming. This is going to be really unfortunate because these DTs are going to get some really good hits. The detection is pretty far out.
I sees this with Spore Crawler, so just trying to abuse the fact that there's going to be one Overseer, which he doesn't know, but is actually what Nerchio's doing, only getting one. He doesn't have enough gas for a second one. Well, that's pretty cool. He could have done it. Gets a Queen, even with the Overseer right there. And could come back in later with DTs or just Archons. An effective opener gets his third base.
They say with the Warp Prism being low like this, I think you go straight to the Archons, but yeah, I'm going to ward that off. Looks like Queen's in this position here to intercept, and maybe, yeah, even a Spore Caller going to come down and try and help with it. Speed going to be proving to be quite essential here to respond to this. Slow roaches are no fun.
Mm-hmm. Kind of feel like Nerchio is just gonna. I mean, I think he's gonna anticipate ShoWTimE going for another push out. He did it on Belshir. Kind of that's weirdly timed, but still very effective Immortal push out. And the follow up 3 base Immortal Blink, the +1 is pretty hard build to defend against. But even if you expect it, ShoWTimE's had some really good control and a really precise build. So. Nerchio might even have some pretty decent creep spread, too. That's not being cleaned up, as the Archons are focusing on the drones right now. But I don't know. I might just be too effective with it. Still a while before we can say, though. Link is halfway done, +1's only on the way right now, and Nerchio is Still upgrading his Hydralisk. Question right now is in these positions too. Like, Underground's such a tricky map. In these positions, as Nerchio gets a 4th base, and where does he get it? It is going to be towards ShoWTimE. The only other option is to bring down the rocks, which is going to take a while.
Well, thank you to MotoXDad, or MotoXDad, for the 2-month resub, by the way. Spelt my name wrong. Thanks a lot for that. Rifken and Zambi Grab, best streamers. I will let it slide because you did it on purpose and ironically. But it really grinds my gears when somebody spells my name wrong and it's like right in front of them. I've had business meetings where people have done this. We were on the Blizzard stream and the guy didn't know my name. He was calling me Riptide. I was like,
hey there, buddy.
My name is not that difficult.
There. I know it's hurt you over the last few years.
I should have just been
like
John
this.
Smith. Nobody knows. There's no other John Smith casters out there.
Well, that is actually true. So ShoWTimE, no supply block first of all, but adding on Colossus already could poke and prod forward, but I think Nerchio has a big enough army to scare him away. But Nerchio, a lot more interesting here, is going to go for his drops. Now I did this once every couple of best ofs, and I thought they were mostly like super effective.
Gets revealed
Get it
immediately
back,
though.
It does, and that's really important because ShoWTimE was trying to poke, and he just immediately tries to pull back.
Oh god. The Overlord's trying to unload their cargo. They barely get them out. One of them, of course, went down really quick, but the overcharge and the stock is dealing too much damage.
Gee. In a way.
ShoWTimE outplayed Nerchio. You saw it here first.
Confirmed.
Awkward. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. So congratulations to ShoWTimE. He'll walk away today with $60. Nerchio with 20. It's unfortunate that he doesn't get another 60, but again, he's already qualified for the monthly finals. This will send ShoWTimE there, and that's actually not good news for Nerchio because Neeb and ShoWTimE and Nerchio are the only players guaranteed spots right now, and this is 2 Protons and a Zerg. Feels bad, man. I do want to emphasize again for our viewers, we have one more weekly Corsair Cup in this circuit, but then the monthly finals, the $400 monthly finals, where again thanks to Twitch we're able to make that happen, has been pushed off till March, and it's probably not going to be till like the 2nd week of March. It's actually not locked in right now, is why we're not announcing a date, but due to IEM taking an extra week longer than I thought it was, our schedules got kind of pooped on. So I don't have definitive information for you on that just yet, but we will in the next couple of days. What are you birthday caking for?
You can buy a birthday cake with $20.
You can, absolutely. You can also buy a doll, get some of ShoWTimE's hair, weave it into the doll, and turn it into a voodoo doll, and then use that to keep him from ever killing you again in PvZ. Like you'll be playing the game, and all of a sudden your arm's like flying off in the corner. Like, what the hell was that? They're just sticking pins in it. Like, it's the only way I can win. No? Okay.
No. I don't think that'll actually work. Let's get a really specific type of doll, man.
Well, thank you, Terminator, for the Muxies. We're going to go to one last commercial break. I'm going to come back and show off my keyboard some more while we do our goodbye talks. So stick around, guys, and we'll see you soon. All right, folks, we're back. I got the cool light settings on. I've been playing around with some of it. This is one of the default ones. I didn't realize, so in the top left of those buttons I was asking about earlier, one of them just like changes the modes, which I'm sure you can set to go with your different profile settings. But it's so pretty, guys. I really like this keyboard, and I'm a big fan of heavy duty things, being a heavy duty guy. So the fact that this is a bit of a heavier keyboard is not bad. But again, as a filthy casual MMO player, I actually really appreciate that they've got the macro keys here on the side. I'm actually gonna get a lot of use out of these. So hey, you can't see, I'm like super excited about this keyboard. So again, sorry for nerding out about it, but the Corsair Platinum, brand new, very shiny, very cool. I like it.
Very chrome, but actually platinum. Shiny and platinum.
Sure, why not? Anyways, if you guys want to pick up one of these keyboards or other keyboards as well, like my Rapid Fire, which is sitting here on the side, now decommissioned. Maybe I'll give that away, actually. It's in perfectly good condition. It's just a little bit dirty. Great keyboard. I actually really like the Rapid Fire. Served me well for a long time. But this platinum one's very nice to you. Anyways, if you guys want stuff like this, check out the links down below in the stream. Again, those are now affiliate links. This is a really big deal to mention because we will actually get money if you buy stuff through those links, whereas before, the links just took you to the Corsair website, and it was kind of like good luck, have fun from there. But as always, if you guys get any Corsair stuff, do us a favor, tweet at us. We love seeing pictures. Like, whether you guys have the Partoofs, whether you've got Yord watches, Corsair Gear, like, we love seeing fans tweet us stuff that they've appreciated getting through the stream. So always tweet at us, guys. We'll always love seeing that sort of stuff. But that does conclude the stream today. So I hope you guys enjoyed the Corsair Cup. It was awesome. We peaked over 4,000 viewers for it, so that was pretty sick too. But as mentioned before, we'll be back later tonight with the Alima League. So about 13 hours from now, is a guess? Yeah. Team Liquid Calendar. I was right. 13 hours from now, we'll be back with the Alima League. So some Korean casting, late night StarCraft. I hope you guys will come back and join us. And again, we got one more regular Corsair Cup weekly for the month left. And then we got the grand finals coming up later down the line. So find out who gets invited there, when, why, etc. later. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed your time. Make sure to follow the channel. Make sure to check out our YouTube. Wait, did we ever hit 12,000 subs on YouTube? Ooh, let's check that out real quick.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Banana phone.
Is that what... I never got the banana phone thing, man.
Yes, we did. We're at 12,061 subscribers on YouTube with almost 5 million views, too. We're at 4,999,000. That's awesome. So thank you guys for helping us with our YouTube content. And, of course, if you guys miss any of the videos, that's always the best place to check it out. Joey always puts spoiler-free VODs there, too, so you're not missing any of the action. And, yeah, I think with some cool stuff on the horizon, with a lot of casting we're going to be doing, make sure to follow it so you don't miss any of it. Thank you, Milk and Cookies, for the 23-month resub here at the end of the stream. I wish I had some Milk and Cookies right now, but I think that wraps it up. ZombieGrub, any final words before we take off?
Follow on Twitter at CG Gaming, and then Twitch, ZombieGrub.
And of course, follow my Twitter over at Riff_Kings as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day doing whatever it is you plan to do. We're going to go find somebody excellent to host, and we'll see you all later tonight. Bye-bye.
Bye.